Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Sunday, the 15th of December 2024, the year of 1 million transactions per second or more. Experience the best of both worlds today at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Right, let's see what we got today. So we got a little bit of here's what happened in crypto today by Cointelegraph. We're just going to go over this little bit here by Michael Saylor. So Michael Saylor expects MAR, that's Marathon Mining, to be the next Bitcoin firm to join Nasdaq 100. So basically they're going to Ponzi scheme like MicroStrategy is doing. But the sounds of it, absolutely ridiculous. We've got to go over this video that Roger Ver did with Tucker Carlson. Honestly, it is shameless shitcoining. Honestly, it disgraces me that I actually used to listen to this guy. When you just hear him shilling shitcoins now, it's just proper cringe. The Cope report got to this before I did. It was the anniversary. So I think I wrote this was at the end of 2020. So we're now 4 years ago, the 4-year anniversary of when I pleaded with Craig to just hold off on the rolling iceberg orders, which is why we are in the situation we're in today with Terranode coming forward. You know, it's amazing progress. Yes, also on this little bit of Bitcoin history, and then we'll go through the figures just quickly, and then that will be the end of the show. Right, let's get into it.
Be Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong and transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terranode, you'll surely see.
Alrighty. So Saylor expects MAR, that's Marathon Mining, to be the next Bitcoin firm to join Nasdaq 100. MicroStrategy founder and Bitcoin bull Michael Saylor has tipped crypto miner MAR Holdings to be the next in line among the Bitcoin firms to join the Nasdaq 100. Thanks, Fred. I expect MAR will be the next, Saylor said in a December 14th X post, responding to MAR Holdings chairman and CEO Fred Thiel, who congratulated Saylor on MicroStrategy's inclusion in the Nasdaq 100 index announced on December 13th. Again, it's a massive Ponzi scheme. They're literally, congratulating each other and slapping each other on the back for creating a massive Ponzi scheme. It's outrageous. MicroStrategy is expected to join before the trading day begins on December 23rd. Congratulations to MicroStrategy and Saylor for being the first Bitcoin treasury company to join the Nasdaq 100, Thiel said. Thiel said MAR is working hard to get there. The crypto miner has spent more than $600 million on that's Grapecoin in the last 2 months, according to a December 2nd filing with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. Being included in the Nasdaq 100 means the company is one of the biggest on the Nasdaq by market capitalization. MicroStrategy closed the trading week on December 13th with a market cap of $94.77 billion, according to Finance Charts data. Meanwhile, MAR clocked a market cap of $7.32 billion. Honestly, the Ponzi scheming is almost scary. But we know that this is Battle Royale. This is Battle Royale for the control of the financial system. And we either have a totalitarian one world government or we have a one world money. The two cannot exist because they won't be able to enrich themselves if we're using a fair money. Everybody's on a level playing field. That's what this is all about. Oof. So those who have control of the financial system, as we know, the central banks, will literally stop at nothing. They will use all their resources and everything that they can. Hence, they've created the world's largest Ponzi scheme. So when it collapses, they're hoping that people will just simply run for the hills. But where's the finger of blame going to be pointing? Whose shoulders is blame going to be landed on? That's the question, because, there's going to be hell to pay for, I mean, imagine you get any female investors. As they say, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Oof, wouldn't want to be on that. So anyway, right, let's have a listen to this shameless shitcoining by Roger Ver in his interview with Tucker Carlson. Listen to this bit.
And see what's there. But luckily, there's other cryptocurrencies out there that do give people more privacy. So there's things like Monero, which most people are now using if they want some privacy. But there's even more exciting technologies and coins out there. There's another one called Zeno that allows anybody to create their own privacy token in which nobody can see what's going on. And if you really want to get the three-letter agencies upset or governments upset, there's a project called Confidential Layer, which is creating a bridge from Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum onto Zano. So you can take Bitcoin with no privacy at all or Ethereum with no privacy at all and bridge it permissionlessly with no custodian and no central point of attack onto Zano. And when it's on Zano, you have very, very strong privacy with that as well. And so I think that's going to make a whole lot more privacy come to the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem. But governments are going to hate that. Like Monero that I mentioned before, it's preemptively banned from being listed on most exchanges in most of the world at this point. And that's simply because governments have much less of an ability to spy on people that are using things like Monero or Zano. And that's why I'm a big fan of things like Monero or Zano.
Roger, how many times can he fit Monero and Zano into a sentence? And are you not meant to be a proponent of Bitcoin Cash? I mean, this Zano bullshit is zany absolute crap. Oh yeah, Zano. How many bullshit names can you come up with more shitcoins? Honestly. If I was holding Bitcoin Cash, then the only reason you would hold Bitcoin Cash is because Roger was a proponent for it and he was a huge influencer at the time. Without Roger Ver, BCH bitch is absolutely nothing. And here he is shilling these shitcoins. It is an absolute disgrace. An absolute disgrace, especially when you know that he's another one that has stabbed Bitcoin in the back. And talking about stabbing Bitcoin in the back, have a listen to this.
Today. And in fact, today, I would be embarrassed to promote. I am embarrassed to promote Bitcoin to people today because the transactions are slow.
Here we go. Oh.
And if anybody knows.
Again.
Like Bitcoin.
Who is Satoshi?
I don't know. And if anybody knows, I'm not.
You liar! You absolute liar!
Not aware of that, but whoever he is or wherever he is, he literally invented one of the most important things in the entire history of humankind, up there on par with how important the invention of electricity or the
Is that why you stabbed him in the back, Roger?
Transistor of the internet was. It really is one of the most world-changing technologies ever. And so whoever he is, wherever he is, or they are, or she is, they deserve their privacy because clearly that's what they want.
So it doesn't sound like you're suspicious that Bitcoin was created by the intel agencies as a kind of trap for people.
Well, exactly. That is a great question. How can you possibly, if you don't know who Satoshi is, how can you not know, or how can you be sure that the three-letter agencies haven't created this? Because you don't know. Here you are promoting it. And Tuckers, that's a legitimate question. How do you know they didn't create it? Oh, well, you can't possibly know because you don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. This is one of the reasons why the three-letter agencies, and Blockstream and all that, and Roger Ver, don't want people to know who Satoshi is. But Tucker's basically got him there. He's like, all right, so you don't know who Satoshi is, but you're sure it's not one of the three-letter agencies, even though you don't know who Satoshi is. It's a genuine question.
I don't think it was created that way initially.
He's squirreling his face. Oh, how do I get around this one?
But I am suspicious, and I do think that the intel agencies and other groups have converted it and hijacked it into becoming a financial trap.
Look, I get loads of people asking me this. Like, how do you know Bitcoin wasn't created by the three-letter agencies? Blah, 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 blah. The answer is simple. If it was created by one of the three-letter agencies or a nefarious entity, they would not have created Bitcoin with a chain of digital signatures. It's the chain of digital signatures that means the Bitcoin network is private and transactions are ultimately traceable, but only through living men and women. Because all you see on the blockchain is the Bitcoin transaction from wallet to wallet. You do not know who's behind that wallet, but you can ask. And then you can prove it via the chain of digital signatures. And so these three-letter agencies do not want to be accountable for anything they do, for the gun running, the drug trafficking, the child trafficking, the warmongering, all the shit that they do. They know that Bitcoin will expose that through the chain of digital signatures. Now, if you are a good individual, and literally all you're doing is buying a shopping, going on holiday, looking after your kids, filling your car up, you've got nothing to worry about. And nobody's going to track down your transaction and make the effort to track it down to find out that you've purchased a packet of frozen peas. Unless these days you're not allowed to buy organic frozen peas because everything has to be genetically modified and asexual and all this kind of stuff. But generally, that's the answer. How do we know the three-letter agencies didn't create it? Because if they did create it, they wouldn't have created it with a chain of digital signatures that holds all users accountable. That's the answer, straight up.
I just want to apologize. By the way, I was laughing off camera, saying you're so great at explaining this. No wonder they want to put you in prison.
Ugh, no, he's not. He is terrible at explaining it, but he's. I mean, the thing is though, you've now got people like Tucker Carlson who are actually getting into Bitcoin. They're starting their journey down the rabbit hole. What is the thing? They're starting to realize the importance of it. They have no idea what it is because they didn't realize how significant it would be. And it's not going to be long before they find Craig Wright and BSV, especially not with the volume of transactions on the network right now. But that was utterly disgraceful there by Roger. Unforgivable in my personal opinion. And check this out. So this was my contribution to Bitcoin. I still think it's the right decision. So on this day, on the 15th of December 2020, as the Cope report said here, Satoshi pleads to CSW to change his mind. So this is what I wrote. And hi Craig, I've seen this imagine it was just 26.5 billion. Back then we're representing 1.4 million. In fact, let's just do a little bit of calculation just for good old times to see what we got here. Oh crikey. Should be an easy one really. Do 1.4 million multiplied by 100 grand. Whoa, how many zeros is this going to have on it? That's now 140 billion. $140 billion. $140 billion. And it was 26.5 billion at the time. And now it's 140. The amount of economic power is phenomenal. Phenomenal. So yeah, I've seen this 26.5 billion, which is 1.4 million BTCs, being lined up for what looks like a straight dump. I know you're going to pull the trigger soon. I also know you don't like being told what to do, but if you still have any ideations, which you briefly mentioned when we first communicated, I'd very much like you to reconsider. This is based on the case studies of both Christian and Catholic churches. They've become a cesspool of criminal enterprise. I'm sure Jesus will be turning in his grave if he saw what they'd become. Also, Mahatma Gandhi, he thought he was doing the best for India by ousting the British colonials, and yet India became so fractured that he was murdered by one of his own countrymen who blamed him for the turmoil. My point is that there is always another chapter in life's adventure that needs overseeing. Just because a war is won, which it would have been won had he used that $26 billion to flip the market, and over, doesn't mean there isn't going to be yet another due to something entirely different. Bitcoin will need you around for as long as possible, and when Bitcoin is revealed as BSV, there will be a minority of BTCers who are so stupid that they will want someone to blame for the turmoil, just like Jesus and Gandhi. Although Jesus and Gandhi and their stories are world famous and will go down in history, their true legacy leaves much to be desired. When you told me that Bitcoin could be divided by 16 or more decimal places, even shadows seemed unsure about this. There will be many more decisions that require your guidance and oversight. Bitcoin will be written in the history books, but it needs to be written right, and it will need you around to do this. Please change your mind if you haven't already. And this is in relation to the rolling iceberg. Look at this. Long-term advance notice. I plan to sell large volumes of BTC for USD. This will occur on a single exchange as a rolling iceberg order, followed by significant orders on other exchanges. It is expected that the value will drop significantly and be matched by a 10x leverage short. The network hash will be throttled at this time, limiting all movements to and from exchanges. Only spending the unrecognized SegWit transaction to miners and our own exchanges transactions will be processed in blocks. All other transactions will be rejected from blocks and will lead to UTXO, which is unspent transaction output congestion. A total of 51% of the BTC network prior to the price drop will be added. The sale will align to a reward halving. Once the network adjusts to this new difficulty, the miners will be turned away from BTC. Mined blocks will actively reject and spend all so-called SegWit blocks, as these are a minor gift under the original rules. There will be no further details at this point going forward. All this will be disclosed to ensure all securities and forex trading laws in the US and UK are strictly abided by. Now, bearing in mind this was intended for back in 2020, And we've already had the block reward there, so I don't know if that block reward still counts. And I hope these iceberg orders don't happen. It would be nice if they would encourage the market along, but they can't start it. The market has to tip itself, and these can just encourage it along very nicely, which would be great. So also on this date, on the 15th of December 2023, says that Binance will see support for its Binance stablecoin on December 15th. What a load of tosh that was. Good grief. Good grief. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the figures. $66 according to CoinDance. Grid coin at 103,000. Look at that, hash rate 99, network node 98, and yet we've got transactions 99 and block size 98. That's what you really want. Anybody who knows anything about Bitcoin, block size and transactions are sanity, network nodes and hash rate is pure vanity and nothing more. Nothing more. Look at these blocks coming through. Oh, let's see if we can have any more coming through. Look at that, 442, 399, 176, 245, 273, 318. Absolutely massive blocks coming through. Let's have a look at the transactions. Oh, look at this. 80 million transactions being sustained, representing 96.8% of the entire market. Good grief. So that leaves 3.2% to be divided by the rest of the 39,000 shitcoins on the market. Oh my goodness me. I mean, what do you notice about that compared to all these other ones? And all these other ones are basically to do with USD value. Look, average transaction USD value. Active addresses last 24 hours. Doesn't really mean anything, but, you know. Median transaction value USD, last sent 24 hour USD. Market capitalization USD. They mean nothing. This is the only one that means anything. And the genuine Bitcoin is absolutely dominating this. 96.8%. Crazy. Crazy. Let's just cross-reference that. Yeah, 80,961,658. We'll have a look at the mining profitability, or mining and all that. Couve upping this to 45. Competition really starting to heat up now. Tal at 29.29. QD-Link 21.43. Gorilla Pool 3.5. Mining Dutch 0.07. Alright. Amazing stuff. 125,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Grid coin. Mining Bitcoin still at a 21.7% comparable loss. The other two change much of a muchness because they're being carefully managed. Daily average Bitcoin block size by network. We'll just enlarge these a little bit. Transactions by network, transactions per block by now. I mean, look at that on a log curve. Absolutely off the charts. Almost going to have to make a new one there. Whoa. Look at this. It's touched the top line. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Fees USD, sub-cent fees. Fees Satoshis right down there. Look at that. Like 1 Satoshi per transaction. Amazing. Fee to block reward ratio looking good there. Looking beautiful. That's what we want. It's strictly necessary that the longest chain is always considered the valid one. What do you see here, ladies and gentlemen? That's right, the run in red, and that's Bitcoin SV. Global hash rate 7 days, global hash rate 24 hours, Gradecoin hash rate, other miners 3.4. B crash, oh look, other miners 61.11. It shows you that the mining profitability is being very carefully managed. Look at that. Not really much in it at all because it's the hash rate. It's just all being managed behind the scenes with the hash rate. Fisher Price Cash, who cares? And we got Bitcoin, which we just looked at there. The Tether weather then. So it looks like they went to 140 to so 100 million went in, just like that, as Tommy Cooper would say. Just like that. Just like that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Right, let's have a look at Bitcoin versus Gradecoin. Look at that, is artificial suppression there. That is artificial suppression, is what that is right there. Good grief. That massive artificial suppression. Whoa. Let's have a look at that compared to USD. Yeah. USD being pushed down there. Let's have a look at Orange Gateway. There we go. That's the artificial suppression there. Sell, 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 sell. Got to push that price down. Keep it down. Can't let the traders think that they might get a better return by putting their investment in the genuine Bitcoin. Can't allow that, can we? Look at that. Disgraceful. Bitcoin versus USD. There we go. That's the suppression. They're trying to push it down again. Desperate to push it down. And we all know why. Because it's coming. $3.6 trillion market cap. Greg Coin with a $2 trillion market cap. $2 trillion. Samsung. Literally just an utter liar yesterday. He goes, oh yeah, no, there's another country that's got half of got $1 trillion worth of Bitcoin holdings, and they've only been mining it for the last 5 years. What? So they were mining it with a block reward of 6.25, and you reckon they've got half the supply of Bitcoin? He's just absolutely talking utter shite, and these shitcoiners with shit for brains can't see it because they have no clue. Honestly, the level of understanding is shocking, absolutely shocking. So where's that coin that's got 96.8% of the entire transaction volume on its market? Where could that be now? Oh, look at that. They're pushing it down. Number 89. 89 on the charts. Look, there we go. That's the price suppression right there. Good grief. Honestly, I mean, you don't even have to be a rocket scientist to figure out. You'd be like, hold on a minute. So this one particular coin on the entire market has got 96%, 96.8%, and processed 80 million transactions in 24 hours, and yet it's buried down here at number 90 or number 89 on the market. Jeepers. Like, anybody with any level of intelligence would be all over that, like a rat up a drain pipe, because those figures just do not marry up at all. Sensational, really, when you realise what we're actually looking at. And that's what's so exciting. But anyway, there we go. We'll leave it there. It's a 22-minute show. I hope you enjoyed it. And as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.